everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Grunge Bible podcast. This is episode 28. Chris Salona here alongside Ethan Shalloway. Ethan, episode 28, September 24th, 2021. How are you?
Chris, I'm doing well. We've referenced this song before to describe our days, and I just want to thank School of Fish for creating the song 3 Strange Days, because that's exactly what it's been. And 3 strange days, and I think that I don't know, we're out of the funk, whatever. But here we are recording. I'm doing really well today. Recently got some good news, and we're back on the up. Yeah, how are your energy levels, Chris? How are you holding up over there? It's still the best month of the year.
Yeah,
so.
It is. It's rolling along, but it's exactly. You know, I've noticed we've been friends for a long time, you know, and most of that time we've actually not lived in the same area. But for some reason, I feel like our energy clocks always seem to sync up. And I'm right there with you, man. I'm coming off, some very strange days. And it's just like School of Fish said, I've got to make it through no matter what it takes. I got to make it through these strange days. So we made it.
Yeah. Do you think it's like... Do you think it has something to do with us? I mean, not only obviously we have the same birthday, so we are in the same, zodiac sign. I'm not sure what we are.
Yeah, I don't believe in any of that shit. Fuck that stuff.
Neither do I. Neither do I. But maybe that's why we're synced up. Because
maybe, man. I also think we have our personalities are similar in the sense that they're both conducive to burning the candle at both ends. Needless to say, and engaging in different experiences that, you end up paying for, in the aftermath. And, we've all been there, we've been there recently, and it's okay though. We're feeling good. Hopping in the studio once again today. So I don't know, man. It's interesting. So what do we,
I was going to say that, it's like, when you go out, it's just like taking a loan to buy a car, you got to pay it back. It's
exactly.
Like you take a loan for fun. You take a fun loan, and it costs some fun dollars, and you got to pay that after it's all said and done. So we're just paying the piper.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, man. Like my summer effectively is over. It's the middle of September when we're recording this. For all intents and purposes, summer's done. I had a fun summer, but I took out a lot of loans from the fun bank.
That's right.
I had a lot of debts to pay.
Mm-hmm. But you're right.
We
I
pay
had
our
a great
debt
summer
sometime.
too. Yeah, I like it that way. So.
Oh, me too. Like I wasn't duped into taking these loans out. Like I knew what I was doing, and you get the joy of it, and then you have to do your penance. So that's what we did. We're trying to atone. Another reference right there, the Cantrell. Yeah. But yeah, man.
So what's something good and bright on the future that you can look forward to, Chris? What's really setting your world on fire for the next month?
I'll tell you what, man. Today we're recording this on Wednesday, September 15th, and tonight I'm gonna go see the Black Crowes. I bought some cheap lawn tickets to
no way.
Yeah, to go see the Crowes tonight. I paid like $3.
I did not know this.
Yeah, I paid $3 for my ticket. I'm pretty excited.
Seriously?
Yeah, I pulled the trigger a couple days ago, so I'm doing that.
$3. Yeah, man. You find that in your couch cushion.
Yeah, dude, it's great. Exactly. I piss away $3 in much stupider ways than that,
That's exactly right.
So I've got that going on this Friday, which would be September 17th. I'm going up to Boston to see Julian Baker play. Really pumped about that. And then next week I have tickets to see Phoebe Bridgers. And then after that, I'm taking a little trip to go visit my brother towards the end of the month. I think I leave September 30th. So I got a lot to look forward to right now, man. I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, the good times.
The summer's overflowing.
Yeah, man. My cup runneth over, and I'm okay with it.
Flowing into the fall.
So you have to. I don't know. For me, the end of summer always makes me a little upset. So you have to front load the beginning of fall, so you have a good transition there. And I just went to a Patriots game, and just spending some time with some friends. So yeah, man, I've been firing on most of my cylinders lately, and I'm pretty excited about that. What about you? What's Ethan looking forward to these next couple of weeks besides our birthday, obviously, which is I guess 4 days after this episode will get released?
I'm so impressed that I didn't know that you were going to a concert tonight to the Black Crowes. I don't think I knew that. So that you made it work. You made it happen.
Yeah,
or was it the Counting Crows that you weren't able to go to?
I wasn't able to go to the Counting Crows, but they canceled their show because of COVID. I don't know if or when it'll get rescheduled, but it's still in my radar.
Well, I have some bad news.
What's that?
More bad news or good news for people that love bad news. Not really, but so we got there was a few notifications about the bands and like all the updates to the shows and how you gotta proceed and whatnot. But Dinosaur Jr. is not canceling. No. They're postponing their first their first month of shows, and that one in Birmingham was going to be within the range. So like, it's getting pushed back. It should be around in November.
Yeah.
So I guess that gives me something to look forward to in November. But and that's what, honestly, I think that is good news because I got a lot going on, and I don't mind
taking. Busy man.
And you're right. I do have some concerts actually so I got a wedding I'm going to. I'm flying out tomorrow. I'm going to I'm actually a best man in a wedding. Nice. And I'm going to go to that on Friday. And then next week, one of my really good friends, Nick, he's going to fly in and hang out with me in Birmingham for a couple of days. And on Friday, we're going to go see the Front Bottoms in Nashville.
I heard they put on a good show.
Yep. Yeah, they're great. I've seen them once with him before, and then with my brother. So this will be the third time, and they've been back in my rotation heavily. And but that starts off the concerts for me as well. And September and October it seems to have gotten busy, but I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited for see some friends this weekend. And like you said, we're just the cup overflows into the fall. So
yeah, man,
we're having a good time, but hopefully we didn't just bore you with all of our individual stories. But I figure that's why people listen, right?
Because they don't listen.
This is people. I mean, this is a podcast obviously about grunge, but I like to view it as a podcast where you get to see who Chris and I are and the people behind the page, because people care about the administrators of pages. People always want that reveal.
I don't know why.
We gave them. I mean, when did we first reveal ourselves on the page?
We did. I remember
it was past a year or two.
It was
right?
August 18th, 2018. The only reason I know that is because that was we saw Pearl Jam that day in Chicago, and we did a live stream that first day. That was the first time, so people have known, who we are for a little while for what it's worth.
But that was still 3 years into it before we reviewed, and I think people wanted to know. While,
but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, because all the shit that we talk about, I mean, we're going to talk about a couple albums again, briefly today. I mean, you can find all this stuff on Wikipedia or Ringer or, Consequence of Sound or whatever the hell you want to look at. Vulture, that's the one I was thinking of. You can find all this stuff anywhere else, so.
Pitchfork.
Pitchfork. I mean, there's tons of them. There's only one grunge Bible, so I mean, which one are you going to choose?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're getting our personalities, and this is what it looks like today.
Absolutely,
which is great. I like to think that people appreciate it. I mean, we do have people on our Patreon. Should we go over? We have some people to thank.
What an excellent segue, Ethan. As a matter of fact, we do have people on our Patreon who seem to support us and seem to enjoy what we're doing, and they've chosen to support us in a big way. And those individuals who comprise our top level tier on Patreon are Lauren Irene, Kayla Jean, Sue, Jade Mercado, Release, Alexis Shannon, Sunny Mashburn, Shannon Gorgone, Victor Schaefer, and Marianne. So just like you said, Ethan, there seem to be people out there who are enjoying it, and we happen to know some of their names because they've decided to support us at our top level on Patreon. So thank you to you individuals for sustaining this podcast and keeping us rolling through 28 episodes.
Wow. It's amazing. It's been a great run. It's been fun. So let's keep it going.
Yeah,
so
keep it rolling.
I guess we'll get into the meat and potatoes of the why that people listen to. And
yeah.
Because we get to talk about albums like Badmotorfinger, Blood Sugar Sex Magik, and of course, Nevermind.
Yeah, man.
Which all came out on the same day, correct?
Yeah, and this podcast, as happenstance, is going to come out on the 30th anniversary. So this is coming out 9/24/2021, and all of those albums were released on 9/24/1991. So 30 years to the day. Wow. So it's only fitting. We've spoken about. We did an episode exclusively on Nevermind a couple weeks ago, We did one on Soundgarden that leaned heavily into Badmotorfinger probably a couple of months ago. We have not done an episode on Blood Sugar Sex Magik, and I cannot say that you should be expecting one of those. But yeah, man, this is a big day.
Yeah, I mean, we're both, Red Hot Chili Peppers fans as much as the next person. We know the names of the people and a lot of their songs, but that's about as much as we can go into those guys.
It's like having mayonnaise in your refrigerator. Like you have it, like you'll use it and stuff, and it makes sense. But like you're not gonna be like, holy shit, I love mayonnaise. Like I can't wait to.
Yeah. Well, no, it's kind of like you get a dip or you get some recipe and you're like, what's in this? And someone's like mayonnaise, and you're like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You like listen to the radio and like, who sings this? Like Red Hot Chili Peppers, or you're like, they just
it's always there.
That makes sense. Yeah, they really are an important band. I will give them. Sure. I mean, they are absolutely crucial. The members are iconic and.
And
they are around.
Yeah,
they've been around.
They've been around for a long time.
They've been playing for since
almost 40 years. I think.
Weird.
I think it's almost been 40 years.
84.
Yeah, something like that. So they're closing in on 40. And I've always said this about the Chili Peppers. When people ask my opinion through the page, because for some reason it matters. The Chili Peppers are one of those bands. I feel like if you're a fan of rock, alternative, what have you, any of that shit. There's been a point in your life where you've gone through a Chili Peppers phase, where you're like, hey, I like this band, I'm going to listen to them. I don't really know of anybody that's like, oh, they're garbage. I know people bag on their live performances, because of the vocals. Sometimes they say tend to be lacking a little bit, but you know what, man? There's a reason they've been around forever. There's a reason why so many of the things they've touched have turned to gold, or platinum even, so I don't know, man. Here we are talking about the Chili Peppers. So, case in point.
I mean, this album definitely had some great stuff. It had Under the Bridge, Give It Away.
I Could Have Lied. That's another personal favorite of mine. I Could Have Lied. And it's so funny because this album for them was kind of like a rebirth, because they were basically like a funk band in the 80s. I know that video of Jump Around, which was their first late night television appearance in like 86.
He's like yelling
on Alan Thicke's program In the Thick of the Night, which I know we've referenced on this show before. But yeah, man, they kind of, that was a pretty big rebirth in a way, because I don't really, you hear influences of punk on this record, but I mean, not punk, excuse me, of funk. Getting my P's and my F's mixed up. But yeah, man, it's, this is, I think, a pretty big paradigm shift for them. And yeah, so I think there's a lot of reasons why this album has had the success that it has had. I just think it was very accessible for people to connect with, and we're still talking about it, obviously. And I know I have some favorites on this one, is pretty much everything that you mentioned. I mean, obviously Under the Bridge, and for me, I Could Have Lied is another one. But yeah, just a great album.
Yeah, altogether, it's a really great album. I think that, believe it or not, I really like their Stadium Arcadium stuff. Some of their the newer stuff. Well, maybe not newer now, but 10 years ago.
Right.
I'm not. I think that's when it came
out.
Like
04 or something. Because
I was in. It was even farther back. Yeah, I just was listening to that stuff in high school. It was kind of the first, listen to it, and it was, they got a little bit more poppy, but not a little bit more like, I don't know, Fool in a way. It wasn't so didn't feel as funky and whatnot. So anyway, that's a lot about the Chili Peppers.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, when you kind of compare and contrast that. Like for you, your way into the Chili Peppers was something that was a little more recent, whereas like Nirvana with Nevermind, I feel like Nevermind was everybody's way into Nirvana. Certainly those of us who were born after, you and I had no chance of discovering the Bleach album in 1989, because we weren't alive. And I, like maybe someone could have discovered it from Unplugged or In Utero, but I mean, Nevermind is the killer here. And that album also turns 30 today. And, we obviously, we went pretty in depth into Nevermind a few weeks ago on the episode that was titled Nevermind, naturally. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you can't overstate obviously how important that record, remains to, weirdly enough now, I mean, just music in general. I mean, I'd even go outside of the realm of, grunge or even just rock and roll. I mean, Nevermind, Nirvana, Kurt Cobain, it's
one of the more influential albums of music for sure. And we talk about that a lot, how like we didn't experience the release date and stuff. And like, I know like I said, we talk about that a lot, but I think it's really important. I mean, it's just, and I love pulling parallels to now, like, there's 3, pillar albums that came out for these bands all in the same day. And there's stuff that like is dropping now that you don't really notice that certain albums are dropping at the same time. I mean, in a broader, or in the rap hip hop, like, I mean, Drake and Kanye just dropped their album like within a week of each other. And that could go down as, if those are, say, maybe that's Drake's best album. I don't know. Or maybe Kanye, that one gets like really good. Like that could be like a really important day 20 years from now.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about.
It's weird. It's weird to think about because it's impossible to tell immediately from the get go, like what a record's legacy is, or, what the legacy of a day is, I think particularly with this kind of thing. But yeah, it is interesting to think about. But I did listen to both of those records front to back, actually, and
right,
I did like them both. I don't love Drake. I never have, but I mean, it was what Drake does, So obviously it'll be wildly successful.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm the same. I like Drake's stuff, but I definitely don't go and listen to it. I like Kanye's. I definitely liked Kanye's album a little bit better. It was a little bit more my speed because I think it was just more interesting.
Mine too,
in a lot of ways. I mean, yeah, Drake's album was whatever.
Yeah. The only one I really liked on Drake's record was he did a song with Kid Cudi on there, and I've always really liked Kid Cudi. Which, by the way, today is, I think, the 11th or 12th anniversary of his debut album.
Really?
The day that we're recording this, yeah. So everything's happening all at once, Ethan.
Everything's connected. Well, there's only 365 days in the year, so
the odds are in our favor, So,
wow, that was a lot about Drake and Kanye. I didn't expect to do either there. Huh? Hey. We're just giving the people like a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you give them what they want, you give them what they don't want, and that way everybody walks away satisfied.
Yeah, and that's what they're coming for, and then. They came for the personality, and they're getting not grunge because that's what we have to offer a lot of times.
Absolutely, that's just the way that it goes.
Luckily, we've saved the best for last. We saved the meat and potatoes, which is Badmotorfinger. I mean, we've hit the other albums, and for everyone for each episode. And like we said before, we already have an album probably. I don't know, what was it? Maybe episode 15 or something.
Yeah, we did it. We did a Soundgarden episode, and. We got into Badmotorfinger in a big way because I think, it goes without saying for me and probably for you too. That's your favorite Soundgarden record, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think it's particularly
we'll touch
close.
on it a little bit. Yeah, and we'll go, and you guys can go back and listen to that. We'll link it up, but we're going to give a quick drive-by with the album. And yeah, why do you like this album so much, Chris?
Oh, man. Honestly, I'll preface it saying this: if Badmotorfinger only contained one song and it was Searching with My Good Eye Closed, I would love the album just as much as I do now. I mean, that especially in recent weeks and months. I did just this morning. And for some reason recently, over the last couple of weeks and couple of months, like I have become absolutely infatuated with that song, even more so than I was before. And I don't know, it's just
so good.
That album was just so unique. I mean, you have all of those guys. And we've spoken about Soundgarden and the band's ability to innovate and create and make new things and just shred. I mean, it's like all the best parts of like heavy, like sludgy rock with like 70s influences, along with just like, I don't know, just like apocalyptic noises, I don't know. It's just and I think this album, they kind of figured out the formula, because I mean, this is so different from like Louder Than Love or Ultra Mega OK or something, in my opinion. And, I don't know, man. It's hard for me to describe why it's like so important or why I enjoy it so much. I just do. Like every single song on that record it belongs in the pantheon, for Soundgarden music. I think it blows Super Unknown out of the water. I know for some people that might be an unpopular opinion, but Badmotorfinger is where it starts and ends with for me.
Yeah, and I think the one thing I love about the album, and it's really similar to 10, is the way that these guys performed this album on stage. And like, I mean, there's multiple concerts that they go through a ton of this. They have some of their best concerts, and it just consists of all of these songs just like the early 10 days where it was just like that 10 tour and like the way that they delivered, Rusty Cage and Searching and
they were playing with their hair on fire like 5 nights a week. It was crazy.
Yeah, and like literally all those songs, they just had so much fun. Like Chris, Chris is like the performances. I feel like he was he was the most fun and the most like, I don't know, beach ball on his head type of like, yelling to the crowd all the time, just crazy. And that's why I love Soundgarden.
Yeah.
Just gets you hyped.
Yeah.
And I wish I was in one of those. Wish I was in one of those crowds for Lollapalooza and whatnot.
Well, even just like vocally around this time, because I think as the 90s went on, obviously Chris lost part of his, the top half of his voice, just because as you get older.
You don't say that. No, I'm just kidding.
But like, talk about like, I don't know if there's been a musician that vocally has ever flown as close to the sun as Chris Cornell did, during this era, in the late 80s and early 90s, around 91, oh my God, so good. Like, that's like the best part about Searching with My Good Eye Closed at the end when everyone's just going nuts and he just hits that to the sky repeatedly, like at the top of his register. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane.
It's so true. And you make a good point of like flying too close to the sun. It sounds like when he hits those high notes, he's literally like Icarus. Like he's like up, he's up there, like so, like he's so far above everybody. And you're just like, you feel like you're watching him like with your head, with your neck tilted back, looking up, like he's just singing down. Like, dude.
It was just like I think when I think of Chris, like I think a lot of what Led Zeppelin tried to do in the 70s was, give themselves and give their songs this like mythic status. Even with all of the songwriting, there were a lot of allusions to those types of things with Zeppelin. But like, Soundgarden and Chris, they did that so well. Like I just look at them and they're just like, I don't know, they're like more than human, but like still like less than God. I don't know. It's weird. I just get this weird feeling when when I watch them, especially around this time.
Yeah,
there's so much fun.
Yeah, there's all great analogies. Yeah, and I think, and like we've talked about before, just it's a good song that when you're driving in the car and you need to get pumped up.
Oh yeah,
it always helps out. So yeah, it's very versatile in when I like to listen to it, which I can appreciate. Yeah, that's good stuff. It's a great. I can't believe these are turning 30. That's
it's weird to think about. As we've said before, with all of these anniversaries, we don't have the depth of experience to really understand what that means, because obviously we were not alive in 1991 when these were released. But to me, I've been listening to these for a long time now, and I know a lot of other people who were alive then, and they still say this music feels fresh and it feels new, and it's aged tremendously well, I think, it stands the test of time. 30 years is enough time to be able to look back and really sit down and be like, all right, like what were we dealing with here? And all of these records, we're still, there's a reason why, for example, Ethan, when we post on this day in 1991, Nevermind came out, there's a reason why we'll get 1,000 comments of people talking about their favorite song or their memory of picking it up at the record store on that day, or their buddy who lent them the cassette or something, All
right. Flashback to 1991. Chris Solano just turned 17. You have $8 in your pocket. You can buy one album. Your dad's your friends is going to pay for another ticket for you to go to see one of those bands.
Ooh.
And then for some random reason you get to meet the other band. So you get to hold an album forever. You get to experience a show from one of those guys, and then you get to meet the band for the other one.
So is this like a music? Is this like a music edition of Fuck, Marry, Kill almost? Like,
yeah. But I didn't know how to word that, so I'm changing it to
own, see, and meet.
Yes, exactly. Because I was like, I don't know. We could do Kill and Fuck One Marry One, but that doesn't really. I don't
doesn't
know
really work with an album.
It makes it. This is way cooler. So
right.
You get to meet one, you get to own one, and you get to. Experience, we'll say.
I'm trying to think like on the totem
and
pole.
These are a good one because these are like I said before, like surprisingly, we know all the members in the Chili Peppers, everybody by name, and that's one of the reasons I love the bands of these eras, because the bass player's name,
right?
The drummer's name. You don't know those people anymore, and You don't know anybody.
No,
in
you don't know.
Dragons.
You don't know. You don't know who's playing bass in Machine Gun Kelly's band. You know, like you don't know that stuff.
No, they're all hired guns these
Exactly.
days.
It's
There's
just
no
different
band.
now. You know.
So it's kind of nice because there's reasons they're all highly regarded as live performers. They're all highly regarded as like icons and people you'd want to meet.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
I think now I'm going to reverse engineer this in a little bit of a way. I'm going to start. I think I would like to meet Nirvana just because, you know, just to have that story of like, hey, I met Kurt and like he told me off backstage or something like that. I don't know. You know, I think.
Right.
So I'll lock them in for, you know, being able to meet them. To see them live, without a doubt, it's got to be Soundgarden. Have to be Soundgarden. And honestly, like,
absolutely,
for me, like,
that means that you have to own Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
I mean, it's in the other example, like this is the equivalent of Kill, you know, like you spend $8 on this thing. I get a cassette, I listen to it for a little bit, and maybe I trade it for a Badmotorfinger one, you know, something like that. You can always buy the other ones, but you know, those other experiences you got to lock in. So I think I would, you know, not begrudgingly, but I would own Blood Sugar Sex Magic. I would see Soundgarden live. And I would meet Nirvana. That's gonna be my shakedown. I'm interested to hear what your breakdown of this would be.
Yeah, So hearing you say that, and it's funny because I think, you kind of sold me on the idea to buy Blood Sugar Sex Magic. I think that makes sense. I mean, I like a few songs on there, so it'll get me to the next album release or whatever. You know, it'll do. Although they would be really fun to see live. But I also think that Nirvana had the smallest window to see live. So I think that would be extremely, although this is the best time to see Soundgarden too, but this is, you know, there's different experiences that Soundgarden has to offer. So I would love to see, I think seeing Nirvana would be amazing. And then I get to meet and greet Chris Cornell and Kim. And I think that conversation experience might be a little bit longer than the one I have with Nirvana. And I could be, you know, like you said, you might be told to screw off by Kurt and them, but like you might have some really good conversations with the Soundgarden crew.
Or maybe Ben Shepherd would just come in and hit you with his bass, you know, something like that.
Right. Yeah, you never know. But you know, that I think I would go see Nirvana because I've always said I wanted to see them, and then I would love to sit down with the Soundgarden guys.
I like that. That's good. And I don't think it's a surprise that we both chose.
I think Chili Peppers are still playing, so we can go see them
that's the
if we
thing.
want.
I think that adds to the mystique of this because you can't see Soundgarden anymore. You can't see Nirvana anymore. But also, both of us, we kind of had to, you know, purchase Blood Sugar Sex Magic because, I mean, we're grunge Bible. I mean, we have to go and see these bands and meet these people, you know?
Yeah.
So
that was the cheapest. So
yeah, you got to do what you got to do. But no, I would feel very content with my selection and with yours too. I think seeing Nirvana would be really, really cool. You give me Nirvana at like a small club in like, you know, 1991, right before or after Nevermind came out. I mean,
yeah, I mean, and you know, seeing Red Hot Chili Peppers or meeting Flea, I think would be really, really fun. Obviously, but I don't know. I wonder if there's got to be, obviously there's somebody out there that's seen these three bands and that has an opinion on their live performances or has opinion on meeting them and stuff. And it'd be kind of fun to hear that. I don't know how, but somebody has these experiences.
Somebody does.
Maybe somebody had that choice when they were 17 years old and they did have to decide. They were like, man, I had to buy one album today and then like they're all playing.
I don't envy those decisions, but yeah, we'll never know. But man, one day, 3 albums. Little did the world know,
30 years old, 30 years ago. It's pretty sweet.
30 years is a long time.
Good stuff. Yeah, and I think that's all I got on these, Chris.
Yeah.
I mean, we have 2 full episodes on the other 2 albums. I think that pretty much takes care of September 24th, 1991.
I agree, man. And here on September 24th, 2021, what are we listening to these days? It's a new week. We've got some song of the week here if you are so inclined.
I would love to. Let's see. I'm getting it mixed up. I can't remember what exactly I said last time. Okay. I think last week I did Mute Math. That's right. So I got a few that I could pick from. Let's see. What is the song that I've really been so could go one of two ways. I have a front bottom song, but I think I've already used the front bottom song, so I'm gonna stay away. But honorable mention of Vacation Town, because that song was great to me this weekend and I really needed it. But the song that I'm gonna go with is, it's a kind of a ska band, and it's their best one, but it came on during our disc golf playlist, and it's just kind of like a hang on to summer. And it's the Mighty Mighty Bosstones, and it's the impression that I get, the impressions that I get, and that's the one that's like never had to knock on wood, but I know someone that had, and that whole thing. And it's just a really feel good song. It's just like, it's got the horns, and it's like it kind of made me kind of bump around in the ska zone. Have you ever listened to ska?
I can't say that I
Frenzy?
have. I've
and ska's like, it's like super, sporadic, and has like, all the horns in it, and just, it's really,
I think of No Doubt.
Really cool stuff. Yep. Yeah. I guess No Doubt would be considered.
I know they've been considered to be that, but I don't know nearly enough about that subgenre,
100%.
if you will.
Yeah, they're definitely ska. I think of like a little bit more. No, they totally fit. Maybe I need to listen to more No Doubt. Maybe not.
I can't say it's on my list of priorities.
Spider webs. When I was in a band with Drew and a few other people, our lead singer really wanted to play Spider Webs, and we played it a few times, but it was so random when he like wanted to play it, because I mean, it's kind of a hard song to sing, kind of a weird song, but it was pretty fun to play. I don't think Drew was too particular keen on playing it at that time. He was into some heavier stuff, so it was pretty funny. So what are you listening to right now? What can we give to the people?
I am going to pull out all of the stops, all of the frills, all of the dog and pony shows, and I'm going to stick to our roots here. Recently, Jerry Cantrell just released the next song off of his impending album, and
nice.
It's called Brighton, the song, and I believe the album is also going to be called Brighton. I think it came out maybe, at the time this podcast released, he probably released it maybe 2 weeks ago. It's just classic Jerry, classic Cantrell. You have some harmonies in there. You just have those, I'm not trained in the vocal arts, but that's just like that tone that Jerry hits, arts. Man. Yeah, like he just, oh man, he brings it home. It's so good. It's so much better in my opinion than Atone, which was the first one that he released, because Atone kind of had that like weirder like country western kind of vibe going on. This is Jerry. Like Jerry's back.
Looking for.
Jerry is confirmed back. Nice. So I'm pumped about it. I listened to it the day it came out for a long time. So much so that I actually posted a story on Grunge Bible. I was like, all right, guys, this is it. Like this is the good stuff.
Grunge Bible approved.
Grunge Bible approved. Nobody came at us saying that it was bad. And it is not bad. It is very good, and it's my song of the week because it is very good. So Brighton by Jerry Cantrell would be my selection for this week. And oddly enough, I'm pretty sure this is the 28th week. This is the first time that I've ever chosen anything that is like, in the artery of grunge, if you will. So I guess I
think you did pick School of Fish, but
that's true. Yeah, so they're kind of adjacent. I think I picked a Queen of the Stone Age song before, so who knows? I'm just full of shit. I picked another Mark Lanegan song. Yeah, so just disregard anything that I say. There's no chance that it has any factual bearing. But nevertheless, that's my song of the week. We like it. We like Jerry a lot. We love Jerry, and
yeah, we do love Jerry. We've been trying to get him to follow us for years. Yeah. He doesn't follow us, right?
It's like Hemingway, Old Man in the Sea. It's trying to reel in the big marlin, and we could end up losing everything for that marlin. Risk it all.
But the thing is, we're ready to risk all for the marlin. We don't mind if we die with the marlin, then
what are you gonna do?
That's the way that that's Mother Nature. That's yeah. We're way out in the sea right now, Chris. That's for sure. We've gone a long way out.
Trying to be like the great DiMaggio.
Manilin's been trying to reel us back in.
Can we do an episode on Old Man in the Sea? Are we allowed to do that?
Oh yeah, Chris, we're allowed to do. So we need to do Old Man in the Sea. We need The Big Lebowski. These are our non-grunge episodes.
Hunting.
We need Oh yeah, little movie.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I love that.
I would love to do that.
Maybe October we can get spooky and do some
we
weird
have
episodes.
been hammering the grunge for like 5 weeks straight now. We need a little combo breaker, so that's coming pretty soon.
Yeah, and you guys are fine with that because we gave you some good stuff. So, all right, if you made it this far, we are extremely thankful that you guys have listened this much. We're extremely thankful that you come back each week. Because if you probably did make this, you probably do subscribe to us, which is great. That helps us just know that some consistency behind it all. So thank you so much, guys. Continue doing that. We're going to continue running the page the way we do. Hope you guys like that. Chris, any other thank yous? Any other thing you want to say before we tag out?
Yeah, just
tag out here?
You guys know where to find all of the avenues to support us. Just go to grungebible.com. Would also like to thank our producer, Drew McFadden, for his hard work on this show, and we're still rolling. 28 in, man.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully we can deliver some bigger things. Maybe we can say the big things coming that
everybody likes to say.
The old university used to say.
Oh yeah.
That was
big things never came.
That was a lie. Big things never came.
It's like what Cornell said, I learned I was a liar, just like you.
Yeah. Yeah, if someone says big things coming, you can just take that and throw that in the trash. Because that doesn't mean anything. That's why we haven't said that shit, because we're not going to... Big things coming is a facade.
It's a straw man. It's an ad hominem.
Yeah. Well, glad I got that off my chest. I needed
That's been brewing for a while. We could have Chris, that conversation.
Yeah. Maybe that's an episode.
We tell people about the Pittsburgh Five.
Slander. That's where it all started. Maybe we go into depth for real.
We might have to. We have to spill the beans.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
I mean, our, nothing could happen.
Maybe. Oh, man, Chris, it was a pleasure talking with you. It was
always,
a pleasure
Ethan.
doing this.
This is great.
I'm glad that we could come on. I needed this. Yeah, thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, everyone, for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
That's all I got. All right, hang in there. See ya.
Be well. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of reasons why this album has had the success that it has had. I just think it was very accessible for people to connect with, and we're still talking about it, obviously. And I know I have some favorites on this one. Is pretty much everything that you mentioned. I mean, obviously, Under the Bridge, and for me, I Could Have Lied is another one. But yeah, just a great album.
Yeah, I'm
sorry.
What?
I don't know. All right, 10.
How now, brown cow?
Yeah.
I mean,
I need to get back in the box here.
Yeah. You just know to cut out that good bit. He'll be fine.
Yeah, we could probably cut it right after I laughed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just start saying whatever it is you gotta say
about blood sugar stuff.
Yeah, you can do that, or you can segue.
Okay.
I don't give a shit.
All right. Perfect.